to a sacred place where we speak our truth, share our knowledge, and shatter limiting beliefs. We are your hosts, Vanessa and Isabel.
All right, we are back, and I am so pumped for this episode to discuss landing in Asia, okay, that 30-day trip that we had planned, how we started our first business, how things went down here in Chiang Mai, Thailand, all right, and some more good stuff. This one's gonna be a powerful one. I'm pumped.
Mm-hmm. So when we met, we planned a trip 3 months after, just planning it. We're like, you know what, we should do something together. And as we do, we did not plan a little road trip. That little trip turned into a full-blown, let's go for a whole month to Asia.
Yeah. Yeah.
Talk about go big or go home, right?
Uh-huh.
So 3 months later, we were able to actually leave Miami, and we were able to go all the way to, the first place was Japan, actually.
Yeah.
We went to
Wait, but rewind.
Tokyo.
Yeah.
Okay.
So leaving from Miami.
We went to Miami. If you guys understand, 7 years ago, in Miami airport, okay, we were there. In the international area. Now, we are so excited. We're so pumped.
But I think we also got into a little argument or something for something dumb. So we were like,
I'm sure you remember the exact argument and exactly what I said.
no, I don't.
But what happened was we actually missed our flight. They were calling the gate number. They were like, boarding, hello, boarding. And guess what? We were just hanging out. We're like, we're going to Tokyo, bang. You know, you and me forever, la la la. And the lady's like, boarding. And we missed our flight, y'all.
Yeah.
When
we're like, did they board? We went up there and they're like, that flight just left.
Yeah. So we ended up having to reschedule that flight, rebook a new one, okay? And we spent the first night of our Asia tour in Miami.
Yeah, didn't tell anyone.
Yeah.
We didn't tell our parents.
No.
And the thing is, we were tight because we saved up a specific amount just for those 30 days. That was the thing. Like, you were working your job, you're great at saving, so you saved a specific amount. I was saving from working, and so we had just like an amount based on like the hostels that we were booked in advance, the Airbnbs, you know, all the flights were booked in advance. And when you're in Asia, what was great is that the flights are inexpensive. So we did have all of those booked, you know, so if we didn't rebook that Tokyo flight, you know, and it was later, we would have missed, it would have trickled down to the next and to the next and to the next. So yeah, rebooking that, it's not like they gave us the money back.
Yeah.
It took a large chunk.
Yeah, but good thing that we were able to rebook, because even though we missed a whole day in Tokyo, we were still able to get to Tokyo, and we were able to be there for like about 2 to 3 days, which was a magical experience in its own, because it's so amazing. Like Japan, Tokyo, you got it down, okay? We appreciate you so much. And from there, we went on to other places. We went to Hong Kong, we went to Bali, we went to a bunch of different places. I'm not going to name them all. We'll probably create a blog.
And it's one thing, we were traveling on a tight budget. So it's not like we were able to stay at like the nice hotels and the best hotels, and even in China. So throughout that, I remember China, we didn't even stay the night because when we were taken to the place that we booked, remember Pinky?
Oh yeah, Pinky.
We saw these two guys, I think, following us.
Yeah.
And we're like, we're not staying here. It was like this weird place.
It was weird.
And we ended up going back to the airport, sleeping in the airport. So it was a beautiful trip, great experience those 30 days. Now, then what happened?
Thanks for putting that together.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I kind of blocked that whole memory out. It's so intense when you're like two females traveling the world, and it's one thing like when you're on a budget. When you're on a tight budget, and I mean tight, like we share an omelet together and we share this bottle of water together as our meal for the day. You know, and what's crazy is like when you're booking things online, and especially back in the day, the suite looks incredible, but when you get there, the concierge is Pinky, the girl that has one shoe, okay, one shoe and one big toe sticking out of her one shoe, okay, and some random two fools following us, which is really weird. Anyways, the whole point was we were able to get out of there and ended up...
We were like newlyweds pretty much, so we
Yeah.
were enjoying it anyway.
Yeah, it's fun when you're young and you're cute and you're amazing, you know? It's fun. We ended up going to our last flight. It was Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai, Thailand came to be our last stop in the cycle of flights, right? We did like the whole map, and then we were able to come back to Thailand, which was in the bottom part of Asia. And then it was like, oh my gosh, no one here is trying to like be sneaky, no one here is trying to like be weird. On the contrary, everybody was so loving and caring and like helpful and respectful that we were kind of like, are we in a dream right now?
Yeah.
Like, did we make it?
It's such a peaceful place. Like the
Such a
energy
peaceful
when
place.
coming to Chiang Mai was so nice. The greenery, the people, the culture, the food is amazing,
food.
inexpensive.
Yeah, and what really took us to a whole nother level was when we booked the hostel that was here in Chiang Mai. We were like, wow, this is nice. And we were like, can we actually sustain this long term? And when we started looking up things, and you have to understand, like, we're in 2024 right now recording this video, but back in the day, 2017, 2016,
2017. It was 2017.
Like, things were different. Google Maps was not as accurate. Okay, thank God for technology and the progression of it, because back in the day, like, you can't really trust what's there. You have to go there, you have to talk to people, you have to figure things out. And in Thailand, they speak Thai.
Yeah.
It's not either
English.
Japanese, it's not English.
Not many people speak English.
So
yeah.
what we needed to do was write things out. We like drew some things together, and we were able to help, and we were able to get to where we were going. But the people here really understood what we were trying to do was really get somewhere. And I think that level of, commitment to helping us go somewhere allowed us to get the confidence back that we lost at one point in the trip. Because we're like, how the hell are we going to get back home? How the heck are we going to do something?
Yeah.
Where are we going with this?
Yeah, so the trip ended up coming to an end, what we planned, and now we had our flight back to Miami after like the 30 days. And then we literally made a huge decision.
Yeah, we made a huge
that
decision.
changed everything. You want to share that decision?
Yeah. Thank you, American Express, for this. Just a little plug in there, because I had $300 left in a credit card, and that $300 was able to book us an entire month worth of Airbnb.
But wait, rewind. We decided to miss the flight that we had scheduled back to Miami. So that was a huge decision. We said, we're missing the flight, not like we could go book another one.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Come on, you're really good at telling this part.
Well, the reason I'm starting there is because if it wasn't for that understanding that we could book a $300, like a whole entire month, there's no way that we could have stayed, you know, because there was just no room.
Yeah.
Like, you have to understand, there was no room. From missing flights, from rebooking stuff. Your passport was expired. We had to get a new passport, y'all.
It's called an emergency passport.
Emergency passport with 3 pages. Imagine that in Bangkok. So we had to figure things out, and because of that little gift from God, we were able to say, okay, we love it here. Chiang Mai is a place. We committed to the place, and I think that's the first decision. When you commit to an environment, you commit to the environment first, and then everything else happens. It's like, we committed to it. We're like, okay, we got this for $300. It's a whole month. We're good. And then at 4 a.m., that's where our flight left Chiang Mai back to America. And guess what, y'all? We did not jump on that flight intentionally. We stayed in Chiang Mai. We knew the flight was leaving. We were awake. We were ready. We had our bags packed. Yeah. But guess what? We didn't go.
Yeah, and at that point, like, we told our jobs. Well, you actually quit your job before we left.
I quit.
I told the restaurant, look, I'm going for a month, so other people can pick the shift up. So at that point, we had it's not like we had income coming in, nothing. So that's what I loved in this part of our story and our journey together, is like, now it's like, you and I, we have to put our skill sets together. We have big faith, right? Let's make something happen. We don't know what yet, but let's start right now.
Yeah.
We have 1 month, a stay. What are we gonna do?
And you don't realize the actual skills that you have.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part, because I still remember, like, I'm like, all I know was architecture. All I know was, okay, you want some floor plans? You want some renderings? Some AutoCAD? Yeah. That's what I knew. That's what I thought I could do. But guess what? All your experiences from your past, they all creep up right when the fan is about to break, and that's when everything just comes together and you're able to just shatter through that glass ceiling that you once thought you had.
Yeah, and going back to the last episode, even though we were at that point, it's not like everything was smooth sailing from there. Remember how you were sharing that you were thinking, yeah, we're both very independent, but you were thinking it had to be separate.
Oh, yeah.
What we had to do was separate. So Isabel was trying to create something, separate at one point, and then I was kind of like, no, let's do something together.
It was a fight, yo. That was our biggest fight. And till this day, I feel like it was one of our biggest fights. Because...
Well, it was just a lot of resistance. Because there was no, coming together until finally we did.
Yeah. And I think it was that fight that allowed me to understand where you are, who you are, why me? I kept asking myself, why me? I remember that because, like, it was so hard for me to understand where you were coming from, because I'm like, it makes sense. I'll work, I'm good for it. You can trust me. I can go at it. Like, I got you, babe.
I'm like, do what? What you gonna do?
And then obviously, and I love this about Vanessa, is that you believe in me. You believe in me more than I believe myself. And you trust me more than I sometimes trust myself. But guess what? You always got the best plans. You always know what to do. So now looking back on it, thanks for that. Thanks for, really putting me in my place and helping me understand that it's not all on me, because that's a lot of pressure for anyone to bear. Mm-hmm. Whether you're a female, whether you're a male, whether you're in a relationship, whether you're not in a relationship. It's a lot of pressure to all of a sudden not just think about you, but you got to think of somebody else, and more importantly, their safety, their environment, their mental, everything. It's something that when you're serious, it completely shifts the way you live, the way you think, the way you act. But when you're not serious, and that's going back to the whole dating thing, that's when you know that's not your person. When you see them acting out and you're like, okay, well, I'm out, bye.
Yeah, and to give like the way we went about our story in the beginning of our relationship. Now we're in Chiang Mai, Thailand, right, with not a lot of resources yet, like as far as money, and no one in the country spoke the same language as we did. All of that stuff, we had to make something happen. Right? And we made the decision together eventually. Like you couldn't run away. I couldn't run away. We couldn't fight and be like, I'm out, I'm going to my parents' house, I'm going to sleep. No, because I was at my parents' house at that point, back home in Florida. So you were at your parents' home back in Florida. So we couldn't just do that. And that was a blessing, because if we were, we probably wouldn't be here today, possibly. Yeah. Maybe. I feel like we would have always attracted, to come back, but that was powerful, and we were able to work together, communicate. And when we came together, lights out. Everything started to take off and blow up. That's when our first business ended up coming to play. Yeah. But what was actually our first? It wasn't Ivy Leads. What was our first?
It was called Travel Mindset Go.
Travel Mindset Go.
Because travel stands for Isabel for some reason. And mindset obviously stands for Vanessa because she's amazing. And go means just go. You know what I mean? Just putting those two together and trying to figure something out. That's what we were going with. And it was supposed to be a documentary of a vlog. Yeah. Vlogging of where we're going. But after the whole Hong Kong incident and Pinky in the brain and all of her mess, we're like, you know what, this vlog thing ain't gonna work out too well. But you know what? Thank God for how it all happened, because that really did help us create content, which then we created our first community. Which was awesome. And that was our first time actually connecting with people outside of our immediate group of family in the United States. Like we connected with expats here in Chiang Mai and in Bali.
No, we found them in the DM. Going back to that.
That's what I'm saying. In the DM, it all happened through Facebook.
Instagram, Facebook, social media, Instagram and Facebook. So what we were doing, the first thing to make we have a lot of different steps here. What came first, the book or the marketplace?
Yeah, the first.
So the marketplace, because there are a lot of markets in Chiang Mai.
Yeah.
Right, so what we started to do, Isabel is incredible at like technology and building and making websites, or at least she got really good at it fast.
Very fast. Never in my life did I ever make a website in my life. But thank God for Squarespace, another plugin. Squarespace actually helped me make a little website. That drag and drop capability was awesome. And what was the coolest thing was we went to the shops, like the handmade shops. The artists here are amazing at creating things, handmade sandals, handmade socks, handmade shirts, handmade bags, watches, you name it, we were selling it.
Yeah, we were taking the photos. We would go to the market. We had a scooter we rented, go to the market with a phone, and you actually did have a camera that we eventually pawned it here.
We pawned it for the second month of staying here in Chiang Mai. Thank you for that.
So we would take pictures of, let's say, the sandal or the watch, and then Isabel would put it on the website, and we put it for a certain amount of money. We got it at a low price. And then we were able to hit up our family, our friends, through social media, because we had a computer. So computer and a phone, and you're great. We
would spend about 6 to 8 hours at a cafe, just one cafe. We would get there, order one coffee, because this was how tight it also was. One coffee, one kai jiao, which is a omelet. With rice. And that was what we ate. And we would just be working, hitting up the DM,
Well, yeah, with our family and friends. So we got some sales in. The first sale that we came in, I know you always mentioned, I was like...
It was mind-blowing.
Yeah.
It was the Stotts. The Stotts bought 2 watches, and I will never forget that.
And I think something else maybe, but yeah. So money came in through the online website that you created, and we're like, and then we would go to the market, get what was ordered, and then we'd ship it. The shipping was a lot, but we were still profiting a bit.
We connected with the people at the little markets, and we would, take selfies with them and be like, remember us when we come back for the watch that we're listing here, and I truly feel like they could, the people that we did meet and that they were true for like a while, for a long time that we were selling their products, I felt like they were like, that underdog story. They're like, come on, you got this. They're like, I believe in you, And they were so loving and kind with us because they understood where we were coming from. And when we made that first sale, we picked up those watches. It was like a celebration, not just for us, but the whole town. It felt like Chiang Mai lit up because those watches meant so much.
Yeah.
And the fact that we were able to give back to the artist, give back to the person that bought the watch, and then also give back in a way, some way, somehow to validate why it is that we're here.
Yeah.
It helped us re-energize and put back so much more energy into our faith for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So like, if you have an idea or you have a feeling that you need to move to a new place, or maybe quit that job or take that next step, that it can be very uncomfortable and it's like you're risking a lot, think about the question, what am I risking if I don't do that? And I say go for it, go for it, YOLO, baby.
Yeah, and maybe you're probably in a position where maybe you want to YOLO it, okay? And it's really tough and it's kind of hard, and maybe you have others to think about. I would say be wise.
Yeah,
okay?
For sure.
But at the same time, if the other person is not on board with your vision and mission and what you want to accomplish, analyze it a little deeper. Analyze it and ask yourself the questions. Is this the right vehicle for me? Is it really the right step for me to go? Is it going to provide myself and my significant other or whoever
my
I
family,
want to attract?
Yeah, and communicate it, speak it, have the conversations, write it down, set up the plan. It might not be now, but it can happen in a year or 2 years, but we got to make the decision. It's like the internal decision and the commitment. I feel like that we did make years prior to even meeting each other, that we made that commitment. And everything just fell into place.
And honestly, thanks to that first experience of the marketplace and understanding, I can make money without actually investing money. It doesn't require money to make money. It just requires a heck of a lot of courage
and creativity,
communication,
and action,
and belief. That you can do it. Humanity. I think the act of humanity is very important here and critical because you need people to make something happen. I think a lot of people are stuck on technology is going to back me up, and if I know how to work this app, if I know how to build this thing, or if I know how to, trade, no. You still need people at the end of the day. I'm all in on automation, yes, but at the end of the day, you need to go to the grassroots of why on earth you are living. If you have a beating heart and you have a functioning brain and you can walk and you can talk and you can shake someone's hand, you're already 90% there, okay?
Yeah.
So just take that next step and go at it. You know what I mean?
Yes. So speaking of next steps, in the next episode, we're about to dive in what happened next.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because that was a pivotal moment for us in our journey and to what was then created, and I loved it because it was like not only the birth of like our entrepreneurship journey, but it was the start of our relationship. So we had both of those going in at the same time. So it was really beautiful, you know?
Amen.
Amen to that. All right.
We are your hosts, Vanessa